Brushfire system is a 2-day trip from the outer edge of our borders. Long-range satellites have detected 3 fleets holding position at the outer edge of the system.
Queen Anya, I don't have to remind you this is a clear violation of the Karalik Treaty.
Thank you.
Would you like me to call an emergency meeting of the Senate?
No, I'm not planning on declaring war, Miss Hanzo. That won't be necessary. General Dax, what is the nearest reactionary force?
They're still 18 hours away. Patton military base can deploy a full...
No! I will not let it come down to that.
With all due respect, Your Majesty, the Trisaline government is clearly willing to violate the treaty.
We will not jump the gun.
Your Majesty, the Kroon ambassador is requesting an audience.
Not now. Wait. Get the Trisalian ambassador here now. I want to talk to it right away. Mr. Meyer, what kind of fleets are we talking about here? Does the intelligence panel have anything about that?
Full force, ma'am. Capital ships, marine forces, fighters, carriers.
Your Majesty, the newest generation of Trisalian warships come with multi-plasma shielding. They could stand toe-to-toe with our cruisers.
It won't come to that. They'll back down. Mr. Meyer, how did the intelligence panel drop the ball on this one?
Your Majesty.
How did you let 3 fleets slip by your sensors?
They must have been cloaked. A fleet that size stirs up a lot of attention.
Your Majesty.
As I can see. Yes, Miss Hanzo, what is it?
With your permission, ma'am, I would like to open a line with the Chancellor of the Trisaline faction, and we can start negotiations.
The Kroon aren't going to like that, ma'am, especially if we exclude their ambassador.
If we want to start talking, the time is now. Those ships are holding off for a reason. They're testing
Those
us.
ships are getting ready to strike. This is a gambit. All military forces must be put on standby.
Ordering a standby might provoke them.
Contact the Chancellor and get me the ambassador.
With due respect, Your Majesty, if the Trisalians do discover that...
We cannot fix the past, General. We can only hope to cover our tracks.
What's he talking about?
Operation Quiet Child has been compromised, Your Majesty. It is time to
Will not be discovered, and we can walk away.
What's Operation Quiet Child?
You were in this head first. We have to strike before it's too late, and we cannot just cut our losses now.
And we cannot risk war either.
Queen Anya, Operation Quiet Child.
Mr. Coombs, you will address me with the proper respect. Is that understood?
Your Majesty, if I'm going to advise you, I need to know everything.
Clear the room. Operation Quiet Child is just a joint operation between military and intelligence personnel.
To do what?
Brushfire sits between the Trisalians and us. It's a perfect strategic point. A habitable planet. No indigenous humanoids. Have I painted a clear enough picture?
You ordered troops onto Brushfire?
In order to secure this empire, we have to anticipate.
It's a violation of the Karalik Treaty. Your Majesty, you went along with this? You ordered troops onto Brushfire?
It's a small force intended to stave off any Trisalian advancement.
If they launch a preemptive strike, a secret military force in the forward position can save millions.
All the while you've been talking about diplomacy, you're positioning troops on a neutral planet.
Mr. Coombs, I will not justify myself or my actions to you. The Trisalians are underhanded and dangerous. I was working for the safety of the entire empire. All 52 planets, all 78 billion people.
And if they're acting in response to the aggression?
Diplomacy is still our best option. And as soon as the Trisalian ambassador arrives, we can start cleaning up.
What use is diplomacy if we pick and
Your
choose
Majesty,
which rules we listen to?
we're wasting time.
How are we supposed to find
solutions? If we move
solutions
now
if everything
against the
we do
Trisalians, then
is
we're the
deceitful?
aggressors.
If we lie about our true intentions?
I will not let this come to war. I will not let that happen.
If they've discovered Quiet Child, if they're acting in response, then you've made your decision. And no amount of diplomacy can fix that.
I was making the hard call, General. I was acting before the Trisalians.
And now we're reacting. Now the ball's in their court, and they have control.
If we want to assume a defensive position, we need to be the first to strike.
No!
Your Majesty.
I will not let our past mistakes compromise our future.
Our future is set!
No! I will not let this come to bloodshed! I will not let this come to coffins and funerals and folded flags and weeping mothers! You may be willing to make that call, Mr. Meyer, but it is not your name that will go down in history. I will not fire a single bullet. I will not order a single ship. And I will not kill for the soil of a neutral planet. We have made our move, Mr. Meyer. Maybe it was the wrong move. But we will not be buried with it.
Your Majesty,
What is it?
the Trisalian ambassador was recalled nearly an hour ago.
What?
It has already boarded a ship. It's being escorted to the border. The Trisalian Chancellor cut all communication. It's refusing to respond. We can't open any diplomatic channels with them.
Would you all please leave? Not you, General. What do you think?
I think life is too hard for right or wrong, black or white. But I know this. If you make a decision, like with Brushfire, you have to stick to your guns. You have to bite the bullet.
What would you do?
Well, with 3 fleets there, they could wipe us out.
No, General. What would you do in my position?
Stop pussyfooting around with those alien bastards. And just send them all to hell.
Order the reactionary force. Order a standby of all the military forces. And would you please ask Ms. Hanzo to call an emergency meeting of the Senate?
Just like that? Yes, ma'am.